Let's do it now. Here's Waylon and Willie at 22 past 6 o'clock from KLOU.
A long time forgotten.
Waylon and Willie, Mercy, flat tire music here from KLOU this morning. Good morning, the Johnny Janot program. And here's Ralph and his brother, the Bellamy Brothers. KLOU at 25 after 6 o'clock and 46 degrees and clear skies. 28 minutes after 6 o'clock, we had a request. Somebody called in this morning, listening to the program, the Johnny Janot program. Good morning from KLOU. Let's go back in time and do a thing by Elvis called All Shook Up. Elvis, All Shook Up from days gone by at 6:30 from KLOU 1580 Lake Charles.
The cover-up is on MCO. KLOU #1. Whoopee!
Whee! All right. Lake Charles environment mostly fair through tomorrow with mild nights. No rain. Looking for a high today of 77. Low tonight about 50. Clear skies, 46 degrees from KLOU with Tony and Dawn and Cupid. Tony and Dawn and a super hit from KLOU, the Johnny Janot program this morning. Stay tuned for Rob Robbins, 2 o'clock this afternoon. Here's Joe, brother Joe Cocker, 25 before 7 o'clock. Good morning. 23 minutes before 7 o'clock from KLOU, the Johnny Janot program. Hello, Lake Charles, and good morning. Nice to be here. Happy to be with you. We've got 46 degrees and clear skies, and if you're wondering what's going on, let me know. I'd like to know, too, but we're having a lot of fun. What do we do next now? Let's see. Okay, here's a couple of words for you.
KLOU 1580.
Super hit #1 for Radio 1, most liked and most listened to, the prize patrol station from KLOU. 47 degrees and clear skies outside in Lake Charles land. Here's John Taylor and a thing called Disco Lady. Put it on me one time, John. Disco Lady, #1, Johnny Taylor does it at 17 before 7 o'clock, the Johnny Janot program from KLOU this morning. Here I am, Johnny Janot, sitting behind this hot, sticky microphone that I guess Ron, that looks like the same microphone that I talked to behind, I guess, and into for 10 years, huh? So much time was, but back then we were where in Gosport. You really moved uptown. We've got 47 degrees, clear skies overhead, matter of fact. This is what you might call Old Timers Day. Or I think the term better, a revival of the 60s, don't you? It sounds a little better, matter of fact. Listen, we want to mention Mr. Frank Sarver as our KLOU Citizen of the Day for his outstanding art contributions during the recent Southwest Louisiana Easter Seals Telethon. Mr. Sarver will receive a floral arrangement courtesy of University Florist, 4105 Common Street. Early in the morning, what a way to get you started from KLOU. On and about, the kids going to school and Papa's going to work and Mama's going to be making the beds this morning. Let's boogie right now. We got the fever. Take out the thermometer. Silver's and a little boogie fever. Chillin'. 17 minutes after 7 o'clock this morning, 47 degrees in George Hamilton IV, Abilene. George Hamilton IV in Abilene. Lake Charles Mayor Bill Boyer has proclaimed the week of April 4th through 11th as Boys Club Week in Lake Charles. Boys Clubs of America stand for the highest ideals of Americanism and the democratic way of life. It's 19 after 7 o'clock this morning. You're tuned to Johnny Janot from KLOU 1580 Lake Charles. I'm talking and Ron Riley twisting the knobs, and this is a revival of the 60s on this 1st of April, matter of fact. And you want to be sure to listen to Buddy McGregor. He'll be here at 9 o'clock this morning. Larry Lewis at 11. And Rob Robin and Chipper Chipmunk at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The way it used to be. The good old days as we bring them back partially. And I help you remember, matter of fact. 57 degrees is our revised temperature reading.
In spring, a young man.
And we love you. Air Sticks minus the Stones and Lorelei. Lorelei, 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, 57 degrees from KLOU this morning. You're with Johnny Janot as we ride the airwaves at 1580 with Rufus and Sweet Thing. 27 minutes after 7 o'clock this morning, 57 degrees outside, and this has a strange connotation to it. This is Joan Baez of the night they drove old Dixie down. That's Joan Baez, and I want to clarify one thing. I didn't pick the record. Ron Riley just snatched the thing, put it on the table there. And listen, we want to make a correction here on our Citizen of the Day, Mr. Frank Sarver, for his outstanding art contributions during the recent Southwest Louisiana Epilepsy, Autism, and Cerebral Palsy Telethon. Nice going there, Dick. Mr. Sarver will receive a floral arrangement courtesy of University Florist 4105 Common. I want to say, you know, this revival of the 60s and us coming back here with all this $1 million worth of talent here to KLOU. We want to say hello to Don Ransom, who's probably listening out there. We just talked to Kathy also. These are old folks who bring back memories also right here at KLOU, right?
You bet your life they do.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Ray Kruger.
The Teamster strike will not affect delivery of food supplies in Lake Charles, at least not for the present. More on this in 5 minutes. Well, today, April 1st, is celebrated far and wide as April Fool's Day. So, if you receive some odd phone calls, find yourself on the wrong seat or in the wrong end of a practical joke, or even think you hear some old familiar voices, perhaps, well, maybe it's just the date. Well, here's a KLOU sports note at this time. The annual Old Timers Boxing Show, set for Saturday, May 8th in the Civic Center, is expected to top all previous shows of this nature, with Harold Williams and Poochie East lining up a host of one-time great names in the world of leather pushing. And now, after this, the weather.
Fingers on now at Fingers Magnificent Furniture Center, I-10 at 7th Street in Beaumont.
And here's the local weather picture today. Mostly fair through tomorrow with mild nights. No rain in sight. High today 77, low tonight 50. Right now the skies are bright and clear and the temperature stands at 63 degrees.
It's 8 o'clock from KLOU Lake Charles, Louisiana, 1580 on your dial. A little strange? Who knows? Johnny Janot is. We bring back the 60s here. Stand by for Buddy McGregor at 9 o'clock this morning. Larry Lewis is going to be here at 11 o'clock and at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Rob Robin. Oh, I still have room, don't I? Peter Frampton, show me the way. Peter Frampton, show me the way from our survey right here at KLOU Radio. The Johnny Janot Show this morning as we revive the 60s, the Old Timers Day, matter of fact. This, I guess, you think by now that, Ron, people have really realized that this is April Fool's Day. But we're here, you know, I want to say thanks to Ron Riley. It was his idea, I believe. He grew this thing and said, let's bring some of the old people back. Don't blame it on you, you know. Okay, so it's a funny thing what a guy will do, you know, for free lodging and a free meal, huh? He'll drive for miles, matter of fact. What's our revised temperature out there look like? It's about 63 degrees, yeah. And clear skies. Is going to be a beautiful day, matter of fact. It's just good to be back in Louisiana for just a little while, matter of fact. It's 3 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Blue Classic. KLOU 1580.
Okay, I should have talked right there in the donut, shouldn't I? Let's do what I like to. I get a chance to do one of my old favorites right now. Etta James and Tell Mama. It's 8 minutes after 8 o'clock, and here's Barry Manilow right now as we get the feeling. Barry Manilow from KLOU Lake Charles, Louisiana. The Johnny Janot program this morning on this 1st of April. Again, I want to say hello to a good friend I just talked to, Don Kelly. Nice to hear from old friends as we sit back here behind this microphone, this hot, sticky microphone. Remember, Ray, that we spent 10 years behind, huh?
10 and more.
One whole decade, matter of fact. And Ray Kruger and, of course, along with Ron Riley, as I think back over the 10 years, the decade that we spent in Gosport with KLOU Radio, I remember a little boy every Saturday afternoon would come by and sit with us at the studio, and that little boy has grown up to be a fine gentleman who's running KLOU now, more or less.
More or less. He used to bring his school books and lay them on the desk, and then go to work sweeping up.
And that boy is that man Ron Riley right now. Right. As we look back, we remember a lot of things, matter of fact, which we'll reminisce about perhaps before we finish up our stint at 9 o'clock. What is happening, because this being April Fool's Day, it seems like every April Fool's Day KLOU has got something going, and they always seem to top themselves. Buddy McGregor is going to be here at 9 o'clock, and Larry Lewis is going to be here at 11, and Rob Robin and Chipper Chipmunk's going to be here at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and Ray Kruger's here with news, and a lot of good times as we're sitting here reminiscing between records, matter of fact, and we've got 64 degrees and partly cloudy skies, and let's push a button.
When you take it.
Number one. Olay!
Oh, you tell them, sweet smell them. 23 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's make memories now. No, this is a new one by the Carpenters. Let's now want to mention the Student Government Association at McNeese State University will sponsor a bicentennial exposition now in progress through Friday, which is tomorrow, April the 2nd. All right. He's uglier than I am. Oh, that's Buddy McGregor, isn't it? All right, 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you. I had to pull my belt off to go teach my little boy a lesson there, and I'm losing my trousers. Here, 29 after 8 o'clock, and these are the Hollies. The Hollies, 64 degrees and partly cloudy skies. The Johnny Jono program as we go into our last half hour here to make room for Buddy McGregor at 9 o'clock. And he's thumbing through his material there, and he's going to be on here. Big, bad Buddy. Matter of fact, Ray Kruger, come over here and tease a little bit for us.
Well, a Teamster strike is not going to affect delivery of foods and other staples in the Lake Charles area. More of that in 25 minutes.
As I think back over a decade of spending it behind this microphone up until, well, about 6 years ago, 1970s, I remember many wonderful and fond memories about KLOU Radio, and one of them was the first time that, actually, as I came to KLOU back in 1960, and at that particular time when the first radio survey was taken, and KLOU became the #1 and dominant voice of the Lake Charles area, matter of fact, and fond memories I cherish of that particular time, and the people of the area made KLOU their choice and have kept it as that ever since, matter of fact, and people have come and gone through these portals, these doors, in the Quonset hut out in Gosport, matter of fact, as we used to look out on the back 40, the back pasture, and so many wonderful memories. I wanted to mention, I brought my wife Joyce, my beautiful wife Joyce, and our little boy John Boy, who was 3 years old. I wanted him to come in here and say something just a few minutes ago, but their daddy does all the talking for him, and so I couldn't get them in here, but I wanted to acknowledge the fact that they are here with us, matter of fact. And most of all, I want to thank a lot of our friends in Lake Charles who remember us and who remembered us, and for some of the phone calls that we received this morning. And I want to congratulate also Mrs. Dixie Johnson, who is the Citizen of the Day over at KOK Radio. A lot of people have asked and said, "Where are you now, Johnny?" We're living in Beaumont. Well, actually, we live in Vidor, Texas. We work for KLVI Radio in Beaumont. 6 months ago, I couldn't even spell salesman. Now I are one. And we enjoyed very, very much. Most of all, we enjoy being here. Now, in the closing minutes here, while I have an opportunity, I want to thank Ron Riley, of course, and Alan Dixie, and all the fine people associated with this fine and tremendous radio station for asking us to come out and relive some of the old memories from the past. And you still have so much more to come today, matter of fact, because Buddy McGregor is brushing his teeth and combing his hair right now, and he'll be on at 9 o'clock. And at 11 o'clock, Larry Lewis will be coming in here doing a little investigating, as we understand it. At 2 o'clock, Rob along with Chipper Chipmunk will be on the airwaves. So stand by for some of that. We just could not come in here since we couldn't do a Bad Roads record for you. We've got to do something from a long time ago. How well we remember, from Pelican Skate Land on down to the Armory on way back there.